2.
Hello and welcome to the Digital Freethought Radio Hour on WOZO Radio 103.9 LPFM right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. We're recording this on Sunday morning, June 12th, 2022. I'm Larry Rhodes, or Doubter5, and as usual, we have our co-host, Wombat, on the line with us. Hello, Wombat.
Hello, I'm the Wombat.
And our guests today are John Richards from across the pond over there in London Way, and we got Dread Pirate Higgs from Western Canada. Welcome.
Ahoy there.
Digital Freethought Radio Hour is a talk radio show about atheism, free thought, rational thought, humanism, and the sciences. And conversely, we'll also talk about religion, religious faiths, gods, holy books, and humanism and the science. And if you think you're the only non-believer in your town, well, you're just not. Here in Knoxville, in the middle of the Bible Belt, we have a group of over 1,000 of us. And we'll tell you more about that after the mid-show break. Wombat, what are we going to be talking about today?
We're going to be talking about putting a Surgeon General warnings on holy books, religions, and even atheist literature. See what we come up with.
Yeah, I would think so.
Before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'd like to throw it up to our own carbohydrate master-in-chief to lead us into our weekly invocation.
All right. I'm called to invoke the power of the true creator of the universe, the drunken tolerator of all lesser and more recent gods, and maintainer of gravity here on planet Earth. May the great flying spaghetti monster rouse himself from his stupor and let his noodly appendages ground us in our seats.
Amen. I think this should be our prayer instead of this.
It should be this.
Oh, it should be this? It should be like this? Okay,
like,
bad habits.
Like a hairy
bad habits.
mustache or something.
You can call out the former Christians pretty easy. Okay, so John, I think I saw your hand up. What was it? Did you have any?
Yeah. Well, I thought maybe a useful warning to put on a Bible could be.
Oh, you're going straight into the topic.
Hey, shouldn't I do that?
Well, of course, but I wanted. Whatever happened to foreplay? How are you doing?
I've got news. I need the foreplay.
Okay, right.
John Richards, how you been?
Yeah, we should minimize it, I think.
Tickle our fancies. How you been since last week?
Well,
I'm a man.
Not only am I no good at foreplay, but I'll be all over it.
Hello, George Brown. Welcome.
Hey, George Brown. Welcome to the show. I like the new headphones. We're waiting to see if you can get your audio connected as you come in. But you look like you're straight out of, Space Odyssey. I really love the sleek design.
Stylish.
So we can't hear you, but we're going to wait for you to hiccup. John Richards, how you been since?
Can you hear me now?
Hell yeah. John Richards, how you been?
So how am I doing? Well, okay, I had a birthday yesterday, and I'm not telling you how old I am. Because at the moment I can get away with looking 20 years younger than I really am.
Okay. No shame in being old. That's survival. Like, once you take the dogma out of it, it's like, I lived longer than you. That's an achievement.
Yeah. Well, anyway, suffice it to say that most people my age are already dead.
All the more reason to brag in my head. But anyway, happy birthday to you.
Thank you. So I've had a good time. I've been, because I've missed you for a few weeks, haven't I? I haven't been able to join in for various reasons, but all of them genuine, I hate to say.
But we have caught up on Global Atheist News. And that's been fun too. And review, right?
That's right. Yes. Yeah. And that will happen again tonight. And I've already I'm compiling a list of panelists because, as you know, I have a larger list than actually appear. And because, of course, some people can't do it every week. But tonight you'll hear that, you'll be pleased to hear that Ty is confirmed, Tercia is confirmed, Victor is confirmed, David Orestein, who joined us for the first time last week, he's confirmed. Dread is hoping to join us, and Esther is hoping to join us, but unfortunately, I won't be there.
That's bizarre. David, by the way, president of the American Atheist Society, or
Atheist International.
International. There you go.
I promised him I wouldn't talk about that. Maybe I should have warned you about this in the preamble. He's resigned.
Oh. Okay. So we've had presidents and former presidents.
Was it a religious coup?
Hands with everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. So he was a president for about 2 weeks.
And it's important to go for records. Everyone has a speed running
Yes.
competition. I'm sure we can work that somehow.
Yes.
Dread, I'm so happy to see you, man. How you been?
I've been doing all right. Thank you very much. I passed this on to John earlier this morning that I have filed a complaint with the BC Ombudsman's Office against the Special Programs Division of the Ministry of Justice. And so I thought I'd just read out what I am seeking.
Sure.
So the freedom of religious expression is guaranteed under 2A and 2B of the Canadian Charter of Rights and Freedoms. Whereas current government identification utilizes facial recognition technology to accurately capture an individual's likeness for the purposes expressed under relevant legislation. Whereas in cases where head covering is worn, provision is available to those whose religious belief includes the wearing of a distinctive head covering, insofar as such a head covering does not interfere with facial recognition technology. Accommodation is granted to persons who claim the right to accommodation under that provision. Whereas the current accommodation appears only to be provided to persons of recognizable demographic populations by virtue of their skin color, native language, or ethnic presentation. Whereas no government agency is qualified to make any determination whatsoever on a person's claim to religiosity. Whereas a registry of permissible religions by which accommodation is either granted or does not and should not exist. Therefore, we seek the remedy of being able to provide and have accepted photographs of passport quality wherein we are depicted with religious headgear consistent with our religious faith in a similar manner as those who do so, being members of other faiths, that enjoy the accommodation without question, evaluation, and or discrimination.
Right. And the most bizarre thing is it's not a protest in a sense. It's not hey, we're trying to make a point here. It's I have an actual religion and you're not letting me do the same thing that other religions that you're letting you do. So who are you to decide that? That's
Exactly.
just really bizarre.
That's
Larry, what's up?
Yeah, you just hit the nail on the head with the last thing. Who are you to decide that?
Yeah.
Governments cannot be in the position of deciding which religions are real and which ones aren't.
Exactly.
Or which one they like and which one they give privileges to.
Yeah,
which ones
right.
they
Which
don't.
ones they
It's like,
promote and which ones they discourage.
Yeah.
it's all or nothing.
Well,
Gotta
and
figure
this
that
was
out.
the thing, like when I went to Supreme Court over this with the Human Rights Tribunal, the judge says, well, would you agree that there are elements of satire in your religion? And I said, there may be people who, conduct themselves with satire and whatnot, but
Yeah.
I can't speak for anyone. I can't speak for everyone. It's a
Right.
it's a fallacy of consistency, right? That
Right.
just because one person does one thing, it means that everyone's bad at it
Yeah.
or does the same
Who's
thing.
going to decide who's a true believer and who's not?
Exactly.
There's an issue of
And
It's special
the
case.
the further point was, so
Dred's fired
what?
up.
So what if it's
Yeah,
satire?
exactly.
What-
Yes.
Yeah.
it's having the
It's
right
all make
to
believe
offend
at the
people.
end of the day. Have you even realized this? I'm just saying, but I was also saying, hey, how many Christians have got a divorce or wear fabric of multiple cloths or eat shellfish
Yep.
or, the list goes on.
Yep.
Like you'd be hard pressed to find someone who's Christian that actually adheres to any of or all of the tenets of Christianity.
Yeah.
Or, prays, but then does terrible things when they think no one's watching. Like
Right.
Yeah.
they get all the privileges of the
Yeah.
institutionalized, privilege having like a major religion on their back.
Well,
But
that's right.
for you, just to get a hat on for
Right.
your ID photo, it's like, well, how many people in your club take it serious? Like, what are you even talking about? Like,
Yeah.
how is that even
Well,
Right.
interestingly, I was contacted just last week by a gentleman in Ontario who has his driver's license with his tricorn or with his colander on, and a fella in Nevada just showed us his new license yesterday. So other jurisdictions are allowing this to happen, so it should be
Yeah.
right across the board.
I bet you'd get a lot of Sikhs with their turbans on in
Oh,
photographs.
sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, of course. Yeah, that's a given. That's why I referred to that.
George Brown, second and the half?
Yeah, I just wanted a point of clarification. So if I understand this right, you are claiming to be the member of a religion. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. Yeah.
Okay, so what if you weren't claiming to be the member of a religion? How would it play out?
Well, they wouldn't allow it because they would just consider it a hat.
That's just a hat at that
Yeah.
point, which is still a weird condition.
Oh,
Weird condition
I
at the
get
end of the
it.
day,
Yeah.
where it's like, hey, I want to wear this hat on my ID picture because I always wear this hat. And that's the easiest way to identify.
So
it.
no,
Well, you can't
no
do it unless
religion.
you have a make-believe supernatural friend. It's like, oh, okay.
Yeah, so no religion, no hat.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's correct. And again, like I say, with facial recognition technology, this whole point about wearing or not allowing people to wear hats is moot.
Yeah.
It's completely irrelevant.
Yes, that's right. It doesn't consider the hat. No, because my passport photo doesn't know I've got a beard. But
wow.
My phone still recognizes me.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's the most bizarre thing because anyone can grow a beard. Well, almost more than half the population of Earth can grow a beard. Some may not want to, but some totally can.
Yeah.
Larry, what's up?
And you got the problem with what's a hat? I mean, is a balaclava a hat?
Right.
If it is, it wouldn't help much on an ID.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And where are they going to go next with their specifications? Are they going to demand that we have a particular type of hairstyle?
Right. I mean, truly, the line should have just been, hey, don't interfere with the facial recognition, but do whatever you want after that. Because as long as we can recognize your face, we're fine.
Yep.
It's all good.
That's exactly
it's all good.
right.
Don't wear a disguise, but like for the most part, if we can use our technology to figure out who you are, you're good. Keep moving. All right. Keep doing the good fight, Dread. We appreciate it. Eric just joined in. Looks like you're on vacation. What's up, buddy?
Hey, here on vacation and for work.
Nice. I hope you have a good time. It looks like, where are you at, if you don't mind me asking?
Tell me.
Israel?
Greece is correct.
Yeah. Very, very cool. Wow. So
America.
we do have an international show right now. Where in Greece, if you don't mind me asking?
Athens. That was the Parthenon right behind me.
Yeah.
Wow. Let me know.
I'm closer to John than I'm closer to you guys.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, yes. And you're also on the beach near Athens.
Oh, nice.
Well, close to a beach, but yeah. And let me know if I need to mute my mic because there are some cars downstairs. I'm happy to do so.
No, you're totally fine. We appreciate having you here. Thank you for spending some time with us. Let's see. What's your impression of the Greek language, if you don't mind me asking?
It is interesting. I have not been able to pick up much of it, except they say you can say merci, which is French for thank you, and that's acceptable.
Okay.
But other than that, a lot of people, they look at me and they can tell I'm American, so they speak English.
Yeah.
Okay. Works for me. I do like the Greek accent. I find it's like there's Spanish, which I like, and then Italian in my head. This is going to sound so American. But Italian is like Spanish plus more syllables, right? It's just like, hey, I need to go to this. And then it's like, yeah, that's Italian. But Greek is like that times 10. There's like, we put all the syllables in language.
Words are this long.
And all the letters are backwards.
Yes, and it's great that they use math to explain all their books and stuff like that. It's great.
Yeah.
The language of math. Let's see. We're gonna round up everyone. George Brown, looks like you're busy right now. Larry, how you been?
I'm doing pretty well. Just playing games, riding motorcycles, working mostly 8 to 5, but spending a lot of time in VR through my Quest 2. I have to say that if you consider yourself a visual person and one who really enjoys the visuals of movies and things more than anything else, get virtual reality. It is just awesome.
Right.
Yeah.
Incredible.
And it looks like they figured out all the problems in the third iteration. So the Quest 2 is actually the third model that they've come out with and they came out with the Rift, then the Oculus, and then the Quest. So I'm glad they fixed it.
Be aware that
still working.
Quest 2 is a Facebook product. So if you're not on Facebook, you may have trouble getting everything going the way you want.
But I'm glad you're having fun. You're riding motorcycles, playing video games. You're living the dream of every 12-year-old, basically, right now. It's like,
Yeah, if you can't do it at 72, when can you do it?
I want you to come and visit me and bring me some coffee from Knoxville.
Nice. Yeah, why not? Why not? George, how you been? Want to catch up with you before?
Well, nothing really special. As you notice, I look like a Martian with these things on. And
I was going to say cool astronaut, but go for it.
Yeah, what I've been
Leia.
doing is modifying cheap, junky headphones to improve the speech comprehension. So I've glued foam. I've glued foam rubber to actually decrease the bass response of these phones to make everybody clearer to me on Zoom meetings.
Got it. You took out the midtones with some foam. That's
Very
smart.
good.
I took that. Yeah, I took out the. I mean, so everybody says you want to get more and more and more and more bass in your sound, and I'm getting less and less, which is what I want.
You know, it's an interesting thing. I had my mom over here, and we did a hearing test just for the fun of it. She's hard of hearing, so it was interesting to see where her hearing was at, because we wanted to listen to music together. And so I wanted to know how should I adjust this music EQ so that she can appreciate it closer to how I'm appreciating it with her implants in. So we did a hearing test, and it's like her low range is gone more or less, but her high range is even higher than mine. So she hears things at like 25 hertz, or no, not 25 hertz, like 15,000 or something like that, like something really high. And I'm like, so you can like hear if the speakers even have electricity going to them. It's like, yeah, I can hear the headphones are on right now. Like I get the sound interference, and I can hear like that's on, and I can hear that's on. I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. That's cool. So yeah, people can hear different
That's
things.
a very unusual kind of hearing loss that she's got.
It's hearing loss, but she has these implants in her head that lets her basically take sound and convert it to an electrical signal so she can hear it again.
Oh, is that the cochlear implant?
It's a cochlear implant. Yeah. She has them now for like about 4 years, and sometimes just turns them off. Guys, there's so much danger though with implants though. I wish someone put like a little hazard label on them, because there should be doctor's warnings for things. And I was thinking about this with religion.
Segue alert.
Segue alert.
We spend a lot of time talking about advocacy, talking about critical thinking, talking about the dangers of religion. For what? For what? You know, like what's a good analogy to explain that? And why is it so important to us? Well, the way I put it is, if I was going to see a friend of mine smoke cigarettes, I would say, you have the right to smoke cigarettes. It's totally fine. But you should know that you're actually ingesting a poison. You should know that you're going to increase your healthcare costs, which is going to affect me. You should know that your life expectancy might drop down, which affects the quality of life. And as your friend, I want to spend as much time as I possibly can with you. There are a lot of conditions that make it such that smoking isn't necessarily a good habit to develop if you're already a healthy-minded person. And every single religious person I've met is a person that could have not been religious or not been adherent to a dogmatic pattern of thinking. And that's an opportunity lost. And so I wish there was like a Surgeon General label, similar to how there is on cigarette boxes, on the Bible, on the Quran, on certain religions, but also on atheist textbooks too, because I'd be interested in seeing what they say.
Oh, sure. Question everything, for sure.
They make you paranoid.
The search for truth involves questioning. So question everything.
Yeah,
so let's do a round table and figure out, what would you put as a label and what would you put that label on? John Richards, I know you're first in line. Go for it.
Okay. Well, I put the Bible. We have this sticker on it.
Yeah. I think we'll all hit it.
May raise expectations to unrealistic levels.
I'm gonna write these down because I think these are actually really good. So, what do you mean by that? Would you mind elaborating just a little bit?
Well, it provides. It suggests that you might be entitled to things that you're not really entitled to. An afterlife, you know, and no inconvenience from the Satans of this world, and general protection by a benevolent God, and none of this is realistic.
Very, very good. I like it. Okay. May raise expectation to unreasonable levels.
Unrealistic.
That's one. Unrealistic levels. Okay. Yeah. I also like unreasonable too, because generally same boat. Dread, I'd love to hear what you say. Do you have one for the Bible?
For the Bible.
Yeah. Putting you on the spot.
You mean the Christian Bible?
Any of them, yeah. There's a lot of them.
Okay, because of course I have my own gospel, which is
Give me the Christian version first, and then you can throw in that one.
Okay.
How about that?
Okay.
Just so we can flow.
May lead to excessive belief in invisible friends.
Oh, may lead to excessive belief in invisible friends. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, you know, the thing is, there is a, if any Christians are watching the show, there is a automatic off-putting feeling that you get when you call God an imaginary person or an imaginary character.
Yeah.
But an invisible friend is very much what God is, even in the most explicit sense. Because if someone said, hey, look at God, it's like, well, I'm looking at a tree. It's like, I see the tree, but I'm still looking for God. And you're saying he's your friend, right? Yeah, then that's an invisible friend. You have an invisible friend, and you are leading to excessive beliefs in your invisible friends. What's up, Dred?
May also lead to chronic episodes of hypocrisy.
Chronic episodes of hypocrisy. I love it.
Okay, I've got another.
Okay, John, going ahead. Eric, you're next. Get ready.
Be sure to use your best cherry picker.
I like that.
Make sure to use your best cherry picker. All right, Eric, you have a Surgeon General warning for the Bible.
Yeah, I like to steal a quote from Hitch. Dred, you're going to appreciate it, I think. And I'm probably going to slightly butcher the quote, but I think the spirit of it is here, which is Surgeon General's warning. This gives you a gold-plated reason to stop thinking.
Yes, very good.
And I think in all seriousness, it's the idea that if you ever want to get to the point where you don't want to think about anything anymore, like, oh, how does rain happen, or what happens after we die, or how does gravity work, or any of it, and you just want to not think,
Yeah.
and instead just introduce some magical properties, then here you go, read this book, and then you can you know what, I don't have to think about that, I don't have to stress about not knowing. I just know now. Instead of just saying I don't know, you can go to the book and say, he did it.
Yeah.
So
I like it. What was that rule? One more time. Say it one more time.
I believe the quote is, it gives you a gold-plated reason to stop thinking. I'm just kind of
I love it.
Paraphrasing it.
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
it. I like it.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah.
Blair, I'm going to throw this up at you. Oh, wait. Can I ask one more question about Greece? I'd love to see. John, I see you too. Eric, why, in your opinion, is the religious tenure in Greece? Because, you're in the land where there are Apollo and Zeus.
Yeah.
Is one of them? No.
Poseidon and Athena.
Is Christianity permeant there too, or is it old gods? What are we talking about?
So it was interesting, and I don't want to take too much, and I can talk about this more in detail later another time. But we did a monastery tour, and to me that was so fascinating because our tour guide, I swear she was an atheist, because she kept throwing in these little interesting side notes and sarcastic sidebars about things. Everything about about the Greek gods was all mythology. Right, but then anytime she talked about any of the Christian stuff, of course, it was the Romans coming in or other influences. Yeah, and it was they said this, but I think it's more plausible that this actually happened. And she would break it down very skeptically, which I really appreciated. But I think overall, the gist here is that all of the Greek stuff is mythology, but we believe in at least the Orthodox, believe in the kind of the Christian way. So it's still pretty heavily influenced by the Bible.
So the Romans still have some aftertaste in here, but there's some good minds out there as well at the same time.
Yes, I mean, and I think they really despise kind of the Turks, for obvious reasons. But then also, no offense, John, but you guys came and stole a bunch of the Parthenon, and you're keeping it in a museum, and you won't give it back. So,
wow,
bad on you. Give it back.
Give it. We'll lead to John's apology before we go to the break. John, apologize.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my forebears 300 years ago. I mean, anyone would think that you can be guilty for the actions of your ancestors. This is like
true.
This is like being crucified for what Eve did, isn't it?
Yeah.
Besides, if anybody's going to apologize, we should turn it over to Dredd. He's Canadian.
That's right. Yes.
So I would be in favour of taking a very accurate plaster cast of these artifacts, keeping them in the British Museum and giving the Greeks back the crumbly old ones.
Nobody would know the difference.
Sure.
Most people don't even know they aren't looking at the authentic copy of the Mona Lisa. Like
Exactly.
nobody cares.
Different colors. Different colors. Okay.
Guys, how about this? We'll come right back after the break. We'll go to John, Larry, and then George Brown and myself's Surgeon General warnings for
What
books.
was the question?
And then we'll
What was the
refresh you on
question?
the
I
break.
forgot.
We'll refresh you on the break. No problem. Guys,
Okay.
Larry, why don't you take us out?
Okay. Stay tuned for the second half of the Digital Freethought Radio Hour on WOZO Radio, 103.9 LPFM, right here in Knoxville, Tennessee, because we'll be right back after this short break.
If possible, let's jump right back into the show because Eric's on vacation. I want to respect
I'm ready.
that. All right. Larry, go on ahead and give us a count in 5, 4, 3, 2.
Welcome back to the second half of the Digital Freethought Radio Hour. I'm Daughter 5, and we're on WOZO Radio, 103.9 LPFM, right here in Knoxville, Tennessee. Let's talk for a minute about the Atheist Society of Knoxville. ASK was founded in 2002. That makes us having our 20th year now, and we have over 1,000 members, almost 1,100 now. We have weekly in-person meetings in Knoxville's Old City at Barley's Tap Room and Pizzeria every Tuesday around 5:30 and go to about 8 o'clock. Look for us inside at the high top tables or outside on the deck if the weather is pretty. We're usually the loudest and happiest group. Tuesday nights also see us having a Zoom meeting for those who don't live in Knoxville or just don't want to get out. You can, if you want to join us, email us at askanatheist@knoxvilleatheist.org or let's chat se@gmail.com and we'll send you the link. You can find us on Facebook, Meetup, or knoxvilleatheist.org, which is our homepage, your home site. By the way, if you don't live in Knoxville, you should still go to Meetup and do a search for an atheist group in your town. Don't find one? Start one. Wombat, where do you want to pick up?
Hey, we're talking about putting Surgeon General warnings on holy books and what we would put as a warning label on those books. That's the topic of the show. I saw John getting really excited about a comment. Let's hear it.
Well, I think we shouldn't just restrict it to health warnings. I think we should do like Amazon does, recommendations. So,
nice.
So it would be, for the Bible, it would be people who bought this also bought the God Delusion.
I like it. Good.
Very good. I like that. I love that, actually.
Mm-hmm.
There's so much we can go with that. Dredd, what's up?
Well, I just wanted to point out my gospel.
Yeah, go for it.
The Gospel of the Flying Spaghetti Monster. And I would say the Surgeon General's warning should be may cause jocularity.
Yes. Jocularity
and may cause one to not take oneself so seriously.
Sure. May also increase chances of eating pasta, right?
Yes, of course.
That is honestly the most damning thing anyone can say about it.
May increase carbohydrate intake.
Yes.
Yes. Which can still be balanced with the proper nutritious meal.
Of course.
You still have to be aware.
Of course.
My Surgeon General warning for the Bible is nowhere near as good as your guys'. Mine was pretty simple. It's just, is not a cure for death. And I like the idea of, you can have these holy books, but just know you're still going to die. There's no way out of it. Yeah. And if you want to take something else afterwards, that's fine. But make the point clear. Is not a cure for death, period. Larry, what do you think?
Oh, sure. Sounds good to me. Since souls have never been proven to be existent anyway. But anyway, my sticker would say, may contain mythical beasts and unproven stories presented as true, and may lead to gullibility, self-harm, and paranoia.
Yeah.
Self-harm
Not to mention
and paranoia.
lots of other things.
Wow.
As a side note, the stickers won't help if your indoctrination begins well before you can read.
So here's another recommendation, if you like, if you're ready for another one. Yeah, there's people who bought this Bible also bought The Audacity of Hope.
I get the pun.
Obama's book.
Yeah.
Right.
I get it.
Yeah.
The weird thing is, so there's a Surgeon General warning on cigarettes right now, but there's still cigarette smokers, right?
Yeah.
And I think what we're trying to take away here is, we weren't going to be able to stop people from smoking by putting a label on it. But I think what we can do is to help to increase honesty for like the next generation, or put some sort of inhibition for people who may come into the religion in George's sense, without the indoctrination and just being like, oh, what are all these guys doing here? Maybe I'll hang out with these guys every Sunday. That seems nice. And then they read the book and they're like, whoa, what? You guys see this on the book? We don't talk about that label. It's like, oh, okay, I'm just going to put this book down. See you guys later. Maybe at the disc golf course. George Brown.
You
love
forgot
hear
to
from you.
call on me. Well, I don't have very much to add because I figure I should know what I'm talking about if I say anything, but I don't know what I'm talking about because every time as I've mentioned before, every time I've tried to read the Bible, I fall asleep. So I really don't know a whole lot about what's in it because I slept through the whole thing. So it's like, did you see this movie? No, I woke up at the end,
Okay.
They cause somnia.
I don't have much more to add. I don't have much more
May
to
cause
add.
insomnia.
May cause insomnia. Dread Pirate Higgs.
Well, I was going to say that, sometimes warning labels actually let or kind of give a pass to those who promote them. For instance, like cigarette companies can now say, well, the warning label on the thing gets us off the hook for any any harm caused by our products because you were fully warned of the consequences and took your own risks. So I don't know. Maybe it lets them off a hook a little bit, but we shouldn't only focus on the Bible. I mean, certainly the Quran. Islam means submission. So the Quran could be the warning may lead to total submission of your will to an invisible friend.
So I'll throw this out.
So we should call it the Bible banned in Boston.
Cool. To the extent that the Bible or that cigarette companies put a label on them and it relieves them of some liability, absolutely. Of some liability. But they're not going out of their way to find kids and put cigarettes in their mouth. Does that make any sense? Like most people who get cigarettes go out, purchase them, and on their own volition put them in their own mouths to smoke on their own choice. Whereas religion will select, specifically if you've ever seen Global Atheist News Review, there's plans to go into schools and try to get indoctrinated. There's parents who take their kids without a second thought and let them go away to Sunday school where they get told these stories over and over again as if it was non-fiction, like where they're around their peers and they have to be blessed in front of the church or take holy bread and pretend it's a body and drink grape juice and pretend it's blood. Like it's a cultivated action of non-consensual movements and plans that force people into this religious structure. What's up, John?
Well, using your smoking analogy, we've talked before about having an age limit, haven't we? Saying that something to the extent that the Bible should be restricted, like movies are, with a categorization.
Keep it PG-13.
And what they've done in New Zealand is they've set an age limit for purchase of cigarettes, which goes up a year every year. So if you're 14 now, you will never be legally able to buy cigarettes.
Right.
Oh, that's interesting.
Really?
That's funny.
Oh, that's brilliant.
Hey, that's not a bad thing to do.
Well,
honestly, just get everybody out of it. Yeah. What's up, Dred?
Well, a lot of TV shows and stuff you see on the TV will be prefaced by viewer discretion is advised. The program contains violence and harsh language and all kinds of violence and all kinds of stuff. So it should be reader discretion is advised.
Yeah. The
parental control switch.
Larry, I see you. What's up?
Yeah, I was just going to say that warning labels like this are available. I think FFRF has some on their shop, and it's easy to make warning labels. You can make a whole sheet of them real quick.
Yes. Yeah, I wish there was a label that I could make that could just succinctly explain evolution in maybe a 2x4 sticker, and I can go into University of Kentucky, or I'm sorry, Tennessee, Knoxville, University of Tennessee, and then University of Kentucky, and go into those bookstores where I saw the descriptor of the capital C creator in the biology textbooks, and just hard sticker on the cover, hey, by the way, this is inaccurate, read these things, or scan this QR code, and you'll understand how the pillar of biology actually operates. It's the second law of biology.
Yeah, I like that. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right, guys, I'm gonna have to pick on atheist textbooks as well, because we can sit here and bash on religion all day long, but that gets old fast. So, Eric, I know you've read a number of thoughtful, critical books. What kind of Surgeon General warning would you put on any of the ones that you consider your favorite? And then I'll throw out my own as well.
All right, that's a good question. Do not read this book on a plane if religious. Maybe. That's the first thing that comes to mind, because I've done that, and I've had sideways looks from people because I'm looking at I'm reading God is not great.
Sure. Yeah.
On an airplane, and I got people looking at me, and I'm just we're on this boat together. But
we gotta get this guy.
Maybe warning that warning, this book may change your mind. Warning, this book may change your indoctrination. Warning, this book may change things that you feel so strongly about and don't understand how you could get out of it. Something like that. Somebody
will cause discomfort.
Kind of
will cause discomfort.
Will cause discomfort in a way that leads you to more comfort. And I mean that, and not just because it's 5 o'clock and I've had a cocktail already, but no, it's something that as you read it, WOZO, yeah, it's late. As you read it, you may get very uncomfortable, but it also starts to shed some things you never felt comfortable with before.
Yeah, if anything, it's read with either atheist friends or seek atheist friends afterwards.
Yeah,
that keeps you good. Dread, quick to you, and then John.
Yeah, well, I was going to say Dada's Trading Room and Loma are both watching live right now, so they say hi.
Hey.
But Dada's Trading Room said of the Bible that a thorough reading of this book may potentially lead to atheism.
Yeah.
There you go.
I love
there you
that.
go.
Yeah, good one.
May cause atheism. That's great. I love that.
That's good.
Yeah, because honestly, that's how I got out, by reading that actual book. I didn't just believe it. I actually read it. And I was like, oh, whoa, with some intelligence. You have to actually understand how to treat people, and then you read the Bible, you're like, you shouldn't drown babies. You shouldn't lie to people. I think this guy killed that dude.
And I had one for atheism as well. A warning.
Go for it, Dread.
May cause better critical thinking skills.
If you read these critical thinking books, is that what you're saying?
Oh,
okay. I also found.
Yeah, because books around atheism tend to apply these various philosophical razors to various religious beliefs, and that leads to clearer thinking.
In a more of a cheeky sense, though, it also causes mental exhaustion. Because if you're not used to critical thinking, it's a muscle you haven't exercised before, and you are going to be exhausted by the amount of thinking you're going to have to do after reading this book. Yeah. So mental exhaustion, while rewarding, and a skill that you should be developing. That is absolute truth. John, what do you think?
Warning.
Yo.
Reading this book in certain company risks being shunned.
Yeah, social pressure
Yeah.
may cause social shunning. May cause trying to get better friends. How about recognition that you might need better friends? Shunning. So, it's weird because I would also throw out not social shunning specifically, but getting asked questions that you may not necessarily feel like you have the need to answer or privilege to answer. So we ask about asking questions. But like whenever I've told people I'm an atheist or I've had an atheist book that I was reading, I've had people randomly come up to me and be like, well, how did the universe get created? I'm like, dude, if I was reading, Narnia, you wouldn't come up and just randomly ask me that. Like, why can't I just enjoy a good book? Like, why do you have to go out of your way to be like, well, explain to me the nature of humanity and ruins? Like,
What about the trees?
Where'd you get your morals from?
I'm just reading a book. Calm down, guys. Like, why is my hobby mean I have to now explain the universe to everybody? It's the only hobby, the only position where you have to immediately answer the follow-up question of how did the universe get created? It's the only one. No one else asked that. I'm a plumber. Okay, that's.
Well, if you
universe
said that you were a member of another religion like Buddhism or
Exactly.
Islam or something, they wouldn't ask you that
Yeah.
because they would assume you have an answer and it's based on your religion.
I worship Thor. Oh, okay, that's fine. I'm an atheist. Well, I got questions for you, son. All right.
That's right.
George Brown, second half. I saw you with your hands up. What was up? Go for it.
The label I would put on the Bible would be enjoy a pork burger with cheese.
Whilst wearing a mixed fabric shirt.
Eat more bacon.
That'll do, yeah.
Guys, there's a this isn't so much of a book, but I also think some media outlets could observe Surgeon General warnings. And one of the ones that I really was paying attention to, I haven't really caught up with it in the last couple of years, but the atheist experience. No, I'm not even jumping into that. I'm talking about the atheist experience when I was working in Sweden. That was like my playlist from the day in to the day out. Because I was Christian when I flew out to Sweden, but I think, or at least I would say I was, but I think the pressure that was released off of me from being in a social climate where everyone was Christian and were openly atheists, let me be able to listen to things that I didn't feel like I could listen to out loud when I was in the States, particularly in Georgia, even Atlanta. And so when I was watching the atheist experience, I was finding myself asking the same questions that the callers were asking. Atheist Experience is a call-in show where you can talk to a couple of atheists who are very well-versed in dealing with apologetics and people who claim that they believe in God for very bad reasoning. And then by the end of the show, the callers always get angry and hang up, but they never made a good point. And when you hear the points enough times, you realize that's the same call. That's almost like the same argument that last guy used. And it's not any better than it was this time. And it's the same argument that I was using, and it's not any better since I've still had it. So, it goes back to what Eric was saying. May cause discomfort, may cause realization that you're wrong. And then actually, here's my last Surgeon General, may actually make you enjoy the feeling of being wrong. Is that even a word? Like when you realize you're wrong, it's a good feeling sometimes.
It's a good start for finding the next level of truth,
Yes.
That's how science works. It's being wrong all the time.
I hated being wrong, but now I'm like, I kind of like being wrong. Now I know it. Now I can get rid of it and chuck it and get some better ideas.
So here's one for the God Delusion, then. Warning, could destroy dogma.
Good.
Yeah.
Try
you.
Yeah, so I just wanted to Dada's Trading Room. He's on a roll here. He said, for atheistic book, warning, this book may leave you with more questions than answers.
Oh, Dread. Oh, I'm sorry.
Book of questions.
Yeah.
May leave you with more questions than answers.
Questioning is good.
That is the point. That's essentially science in a way,
Yeah, always does.
Yeah. And it's never a bad thing to have more questions. You can still get answers. That's a beautiful thing. But honestly, what science is about is not so much answers, but explanations.
Yes.
And the explanations, while while nominal and based off models are so broad in what they answer or comprehensive that you're going to have questions about, okay, well, what's the next step about this part? Next step about this part? What hasn't been answered yet? What's kind of ambiguous still? I want to know as much as I can with this system. It's really great.
Yeah.
Guys, let's see. I think we did a really good roundtable. I'm just going to do a quick summary of some of the highlights that we had in the show, and then we can get the plugging. So, may Surgeon General labels for holy books may cause raised expectations to unrealistic levels, may lead to excessive belief in invisible friends, may also lead to chronic episodes of hypocrisy. Make sure to use your best cherry picker, and this gives you a gold-plated reason to stop thinking. Also, may contain imaginary mythical figures and lead to increased gullibility and self-harm. And then I think one of the best ones we got from the listener comments for sure is may cause atheism.
Love it.
Yeah.
I love it. I love it. I love it. That,
Oh,
if
man.
I was going to get anyone. That's
do we have any
fantastic.
listener questions for this week?
Yeah.
Or listener
Oh,
statements?
dang it. Dang it. I didn't even set it up. Though I would like to give a shout out to Freethought channel who said, great show, guys. Thank you so much. I think that came from you, John. Appreciate it. We have listener comments. All of them are unfortunately very long. I don't think we have the time, but we will jump back into them first start next episode. Sound good?
Okay, sure.
And for now, how about this? We'll do a closeout session. John Richards, where can we find all of your many channels and antics going on?
Well, it's all on Freethought channel. I've shortened the name from Freethought Productions channel to Freethought channel. So
Freethought channel. I like it.
yeah, in a nutshell. So it's been going on, and I've now got more assistants. So, for example, tonight's Global Atheist News Review featuring Dredd and Ty and other opinionated panelists will actually not be hosted by me. For the first time, we have my co-host Tercia Duplessis in the chair. She will be providing you with the items to react to.
Very, very nice.
Enjoy.
I also like how South African names sound like Isaac Asimov characters in sci-fi novels. It's really, really great. I think there's an inspiration there. But anyway, Dread Pirate Higgs.
Yes.
How do we find your program? How do we find your program?
Go to YouTube Freethought channel.
Cool.
Yeah.
Make
You can
sure you
find
give your information.
you can find my channel at Mind Pirate on YouTube, MINDPYRATE. I live stream this show when I'm on it every Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time, and I also when I'm on the Global Atheist News Review, I live stream that at 11 a.m. on Sunday PDT. So if you go there, please like and subscribe, and thank you.
Nice. Also, just super highlight shout out to the show. We got calls from England, Canada, and Greece. Wow, that's for the first time.
Yeah.
Let's go. Showing some respect. Eric, anything that you'd like to plug before next week?
Yeah, probably need to do this and say, here is my view.
Beautiful.
You guys, we got all this. And then, oh,
Look at
there's
that.
Wow.
the more than
Makes great radio.
Imagine that was hand built. Imagine that thing was hand built. It's bigger than all the buildings.
no
right?
kidding. And yeah,
Crazy.
by volunteers. And,
Yep.
But yeah, thanks for letting me pop on today. Sorry if it was a distraction, but
No,
Good
no,
conversation.
happy to have
See
you.
ya.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're happy to have you anytime.
Definitely.
Let's see. George Brown 21/2th. Anything you recommend we check out before next week?
Muted. You're muted.
I'm just trying to practice my lip
I
reading.
said
It's
every
not very
time
good.
you ask. I'm sorry, I have a cough switch on this microphone. It was pressed. Every time you ask me that, I forget what I was going to say. So I
It's
forgot.
okay. It's okay.
You got to
It might
write
be
it down
a
before
valuable-
the show.
That's right.
He'll remember it. He'll remember it just before we're about to close. It's all good.
That's a good
Larry.
name for a channel. I forgot what I was going to say.
Yeah, there you go.
there you go.
Okay, so you can check out my stuff on Let's Chat. It's this YouTube channel. If you're watching the video, it's YouTube Let's Chat, and I have these videos. But I'm also just, you know, having a good time, enjoying talking with my friends on a regular basis. This is some of the highlights of my weekend. And so, Larry, anytime you want to close up the show, I'm totally good. But please explain to me what atheism is and what it's all about, because I still am a little confused about
I happen to have written a book about that.
What? What's the Surgeon General warning on it?
Freethought Radio Hour. If you're having trouble leaving religious beliefs behind, go to recoveringfromreligion.org. You can find help there. Thank you for watching and joining us on the Digital Freethought Radio Hour. Remember, if you're watching this on YouTube, be sure to like and subscribe. Remember, everybody is going to somebody else's hell. The time to worry about it is when they prove that heavens and hells and souls are real. Until then, don't sweat it. Enjoy your life, and we'll see you next week. Say bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.
Bye in Greece.
Bye.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
I really
Thank you.
appreciated the show.
Y'all make the show. Appreciate it.
Yeah. I'll see half of you guys later on.